Hi guys, this is VengeanceTech, and today we're going to be continuing our modding Minecraft servers with Skript. This will be the second one. If you haven't seen the first one, please take a look at it. It'll basically tell you how to install Skript and get you going. There is one thing, however, that I didn't realize, that Skript 2.2 actually has a bug in it. So what I want to do is I'm going to show you how to downgrade real quick to a earlier version of Skript. And in order to do that, you basically just go to Google or whatever search engine that you like, and we're going to actually there it is already. I've already been to this website, so but you want to type in bukkit and then space SKRIPT, Skript. And what we're going to do is we're going to actually get an earlier version of Skript, and we want to get version 2.1.2. And again, the reason we're doing this is because there's bugs in the current version 2.2. And this one I know actually works for what we need to do today. If we need to upgrade later, we'll basically upgrade later. But we'll download that real quick. Go into our downloads directory, and then we'll go into our Spigot YouTube mod server, and go to plugins, and what we'll do is we'll just drag this over here, and since this has bugs in it, we're going to just delete it. And that should downgrade us to whatever version this is. Now, if you look at this, it says game version 1.7.2. Now, that doesn't really mean that anything, because it actually does run on 1.8 also. So it does actually work. So there shouldn't be a problem there. Let's see. We'll kind of leave our downloads thing up here real quick. We're going to be downloading another one also. So if we go to our SK Unity website, what we're going to need here is we're going to need WildScript. So we'll download the latest version here. And this says for 1.7.9, but it does work in 1.8. We'll save that, and we'll get WildScript into our directory. Now, I guess we don't need anything more from downloads. We're going to go into our scripts directory, and basically we're going to go, let me slow down here. I'm going to go scripts, and this is our hello world program from before. I'm going to just disable that for now, just by putting a dash in front of it. That'll actually disable it. That way we're starting fresh today. So we're going to create a new document, and we'll call this one antilag.sk. Now, what we're basically going to be doing is we're going to be monitoring the server for the ticks per second, and then what we're going to do is we're going to actually stop spawning. The reason we're going to be doing this is because if the server is generating chunks or something like that, it really doesn't have time to do all this stuff. So in order for it to run that part of the program faster, this basically disables spawning so that it can do that. And thus it actually makes the server actually run faster. Your users of your server will actually see an improvement. There are drawbacks to this, but one is you do get less mobs initially, but after the chunks are loaded and created and generated, this really doesn't affect it one bit. So this is kind of a use at your own risk. There's kind of a few drawbacks to this. One is that if you're in the end, if the server's lagging, when you go into the end, the Ender Dragon doesn't spawn. So what happens is that there's no Ender Dragon. Now, we kind of experienced this in the last UHC that happened on the Night Owl server. No Ender Dragon spawned. And that's just what happened. But I still like using this because this allows my servers to run a lot faster than anybody else's servers out there. But I'm going to kind of show you how to do it here. And we'll open up our gedit. I'm actually going to kind of shrink this window down a little bit, because we don't really need it that big. And we'll get started here. Since we need to actually count up the number of ticks, there's a command. First of all, let me show you this real quick here. If you do a search here for ticks per second, TPS, there's this command. It requires the add-on wild script, which is set, your ticks per second now to TPS. Now this doesn't actually return what the server's running at. What this does, it returns what the server is set to run at. The difference being is that this can be set to 20, and if your server doesn't quite make 20, it's still going to give you 20 back. So that's why this doesn't actually give you what you need. If you see me do this kind of expression, that means it doesn't work. It doesn't work for what we need. But the reason we need wild script is because we need to get our seconds here. Now you can't get seconds, just by using script, so we got to use wild script. And basically, it's set variable to quotes, whatever you want. And in this case, we're going to actually be pulling out seconds. So let me get back to our script here. And basically, what we're going to do is every tick we're going to add 1 to ticks. We're going to basically count them up one at a time. So every tick, this is another thing I made a mistake on. Sometimes you need to tab. I think I said that you needed to put in a space. You need a tab. But I'm going to add 1 to tick. And sometimes, when a server starts and stops, it doesn't actually stop on 0. It could actually have a 10 ticks in here. So we're going to actually, if tick is 21, we're going to actually force it to be 20. And we'll do 2 tabs. And that. And you need a colon after this. That basically will force it to be 20. Now, what we need to do is we need to take our seconds here. Let me kind of take a look at this. It's set variable. We're going to actually use now. This can be anything you want, but I'm going to use now to seconds. I think it's seconds. Yeah, seconds. And we're going to test that real quick. You're going to see me test a lot of things while we're doing it also. Because it's better to kind of, make sure it's working before you actually continue. Let me see. We'll go into our open our terminal here. We'll go into our server directory, and we will run our server. Now I did change this too. I also put an asterisk here. That way, if it's spigot 1.8 .1 later, it'll actually still be the same. But we'll load it up. And there's our seconds. It's actually matching our server time. So we'll stop that. And now we got to do something with it. So what we're going to do is we're going to, if I remember right, we're going to compare it to time. If time is not now, then we're going to do something else. We'll set time to now. So basically, every time time and now don't equal, it's going to set time to now. Now, the reason we do this is so that it can actually run everything in this if statement anytime they don't match. So in this case, what we want to do is we want to pull the tick out, and we want to actually put it into another variable. And then we're going to want to basically clear and reset our ticks, our tick variable. So what we're going to do is we're going to set, and this is actually going to be our ticks per second. We're going to set ticks per second to tick. And then what we're going to do is we're going to reset tick to 0. And that should, if I want to test it again, I can do this. And this should give us our TPS of our server. Over and over and over, every second. And we'll test that out real quick here. Start up our server. You can see it actually started up slow. It started up 13 ticks per second, then it went to 19, and then now it's right on 20. Let me kind of show you a few things here. If I stop this, now I'm actually going to delete the world here. Delete that. That way it has to actually generate chunks when you actually come into the world. So you can actually kind of see this, the reason why this is important. Kind of start this thing back up here. It's preparing the spawn area. And you can see our ticks per second drop to 12, and 20, and then 19. Now if I load up Minecraft here, as soon as I go into the world, this ticks per second is going to drop. I'm going to keep this out of the way here. And we'll watch it here. You see it drop to 18. And anytime it's loading chunks, or it's generating chunks, the ticks per second is going to drop. So if I run off this way, of course that's not a good way to go because it's all water. Every once in a while this is going to drop off 20. Meaning that the server is actually, starting to lag. And of course, there's all water that way. You just saw it drop to 19. And we're actually going to do something with that in a second here. We're going to stop spawning. What that does is, and you can see we just dropped to 16, 17. Anytime it drops off of 20, the server is actually working too hard. And basically, every person on the server will see this lag. But we're gonna minimize it by eliminating spawning. That way, it doesn't slow the server down too much. This is the reason. This is the main reason why my servers actually run faster than most. Because I do actually, I'm actually concerned about lag on my servers. A lot of people will just, you know, tell whoever's on, you know, get a better computer. But it's not always the case. I hate, you know, it's a personal pet peeve of mine. I hate any type of lag on these servers. But as you can see, as the world generates, it's gonna still run at 20 or 19 ticks per second. You know, sometimes it'll drop down a little bit more. And if you actually type the command for TPS, you can actually see like the average. Now, anything above like 19 is probably pretty good, but what we're gonna do, actually, we'll just kind of get out of this here, and we'll just kind of minimize Minecraft here. Now we're gonna go back to our anti-lag, and I'm gonna show you how to stop spawning. We're only going to stop it for just a short period of time, whenever the ticks per second is less than 20. Now, if you have a server that has a lot of users, you're going to want to, kind of mess with the variables a little bit, because you can actually get by with like 18 or 14, ticks per second. It just depends upon what you can accept for lag. I can't accept much more than, 18, but anyway, I'm going to show you how to stop spawning. On spawn, and we're going to go if ticks per second, oops, I'm going to do caps, is less than, I can't type today, 20, we're going to just cancel event. Now this does have one drawback to it. If you're in the end, it's going to, if the server just happens to lag at that particular time that you go into the end, the Ender Dragon isn't going to spawn. So there's a chance that you're not going to get an Ender Dragon, but as long as the rest of the server is running fast, it's probably okay. But anyway, this is pretty much it. This is our anti-lag program, and I'm going to kind of show you this here. We'll stop this. Now, we're going to go into the worlds here, and we're going to delete these again. And we'll start the server back up. And go back into Minecraft. Load this back up. And if you can see, I've been testing out different servers just to see, what's actually good. Right now it's, just from our milliseconds. Chicago sucks. Washington DC is pretty good. Basically what I'm wanting to do is I'm wanting to actually find a good server host. My server rocks. 1 millisecond, but then again it's also across the room. Alright, let's see here. We will... Actually, this is still on the same computer as... Yeah, I'm still on the same computer as my server. So let's join the server. And that's pretty much it. 0 lag. Well, I should say it's going to be running at 20 ticks per second all the time. And if I check it, running 20, we'll kind of bounce around here. Now it's generating chunks in the background. We'll check our ticks per second again. Still 20. Gonna head over this way. And my server is running pretty much full speed all the time. Now it doesn't matter how many players you get online. It's going to, if there's any lag at all, it's going to actually eliminate spawning. Now, since it does eliminate spawning, there is going to be just a few less mobs in the world. But it's not going to be that bad. So, as you can see, everything's always 20. Anyway, this is VengeanceTech. I guess if you liked this video, please leave a like. If you didn't like this video, definitely give it a thumbs down. The reason I'm asking you to do that is I really want your feedback on this. If it's positive, you know, great. If it's negative, that's also great. Because what it does, it gives me an idea of what you guys want, what you guys want to see. And I do appreciate, you know, the feedback. I appreciate it either way, if it's good or bad. So just give me some feedback, either thumbs up, thumbs down, leave comments, subscribe if you want to subscribe. If you want to see more videos, you know, what comments in the description saying, hey, you want to see more videos. But anyway, this is VengeanceTech. I guess I'll see you guys next time. Bye, guys.